as is on the case when a cop finds himself out of a job due to misconduct or brutality. A Colorado police sergeant linked to a disturbing train crash had earlier than the idea of a host of misconduct complaints at another police department. Before SGT, Pablo Vasquez was hired to work for the Platteville Police Department in active sync. The Federal Heights Police Department, which had earlier hired Vasquez as a sergeant in 2014, deemed him a significant liability risk. According to a CBS News Colorado investigation, a significant liability risk indeed. Vasquez is the same sergeant who parked a patrol cruiser on train tracks, later leading to serious injuries when 20-year-old YareniRios-Gonzalez was fast and seated inside of the vehicle. It was surprised by a train related story. She was frantically trying to silence woman trapped inside police cruiser parked on train tracks. Body camera and dash camera footage released by the Fort Lupton Police Department, the agency whose jurisdiction the crash happened in, shows the train crashing into the police cruiser while Rios-Gonzalez begged for help. She ultimately survived the crash with serious injuries. Begins to the investigating agency, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. Unconfirmed. Platteville police officers became involved in the incident when the force's officers spotted the vehicle Rios-Gonzalez was driving. Neighboring agencies had been around a description of the car after a 911 caller claimed that a woman in the vehicle pulled a pop-up on him in a road rage dispute, while Vasquez parked his cruiser on the train tracks. Another officer who had responded to the scene from the Fort Lupton police force put them with the cruiser. The Platteville police sergeant who parked his patrol vehicle on train tracks, easy to the severe injury of YareniRios-Gonzalez after she was hit by a train, was at a liability risk by a previous police department. We need better hiring practices for police officers. pic.twitter.com/skkbinhog. Ben Crump. At Attorney Crump. October 20, 2022. Vasquez had already been in the center of 5 internal affairs probes before Platteville police even hired him, and other officers launched 2 of the investigations. CBS News reported. Police officers serving under Sergeant Pablo Vasquez approached police administrators with concerns regarding Sergeant Vasquez's work performance. Someone wrote in one internal affairs complaint the news station obtained. In another complaint, another person wrote, with a police officer complained that Sergeant Pablo Vasquez has a lack of radio awareness and often requires several contacts before he responds. Unit and call awareness need improvement. Rarely knows where his officers are and what kind of call they are on. Maybe an extremely slow response time to calls or requests for that. Federal Heights police administrators conducted a performance review on Vasquez and developed an improvement plan for him in September 2019. CBS News Colorado reported. Administrators wrote in the plan, Sergeant Vasquez's documented failure to provide adequate supervision presented a significant risk of liability to the city of Federal Heights and the safety of the officers under his supervision. In his evaluation, supervisors gave him one of the lowest possible scores, citing his poor quality of work and leadership that needs improvement. The employee is unable to achieve effective results. Officials wrote of Vasquez, apparently seeing the writing on the wall. He resigned on Mar. 14, 2020, and went on to work for Platteville Police. Platteville conducts a standard background check that inquires into an applicant's prior employment history and criminal record. Platteville Police Chief Carl Dwyer told CBS News Colorado. Vasquez went on to continue earning negative remarks from them in Platteville. According to internal affairs documents CBS News Colorado obtained that were dated in January The chief reportedly told Vasquez, who was accused of tampering with a co-worker's cell phone, that his actions were "inappropriate. Please use better judgment moving forward to avoid further disciplinary action," the chief said in what had been a written reprimand. Apparently, better judgment is not something the design is one of. Public policy polling. Tom Jensen joins us on the downballot to explain how his firm weights polls to reflect the likely electorate. Why Democratic leads in most surveys. This system should be treated as smaller than they appear, because undecided voters lean heavily anti-Biden, and the surprisingly potent impact abortion has instructions on the needle with voters despite our deep polarization. Embedded content-related story. Unnamed 911 caller says he was the victim in road rage incident. Not handcuffed woman hit by train.